The Stamparatus was available on a reservation system back in the fall and in December, and now those have started shipping to people. So I felt like it was time to go ahead and start talking more about the Stamparatus. When I was in Salt Lake City in October, I was one of the presenters at the conference on how to use the Stamparatus. Well, Stampin' Up sent me one to play with, and I had never used a stamp positioning tool except for our Stamp-A-Majig. So I was like, what do I do with this thing? But it was super easy to use. I learned lots and lots of tips and tricks, and I want to share that with you guys today. I'm also going to be doing a series of Stamparatus videos because there's so much to this tool. I don't want to overwhelm you with just one video or one Facebook Live. So there's gonna be several coming up. So stay tuned for that. So let's see. Hey Robin, so glad you joined us. Good afternoon to you. For me, it's still morning. Arizona does not celebrate or practice daylight savings time, and I'm telling you, it throws me off so much. So it's only 10 o'clock here, which I have, my daughter lives on the East Coast, so now we're 3 hours time difference, so it just kills me that that she and I have to figure out our time zones to be able to talk and stuff. So, all right. Let's do this. Okay, you saw my sunrise picture. Okay, yeah, it was just gorgeous this morning. So, all right, let's flip the camera around. Okay. When you get, this is actually the card that I demonstrated at OnStage, and I know that my ink, I did like a tone-on-tone ink, was a little too light for the cameras to pick it up in Salt Lake City. So I switched it up a bit, and I will be switching it up today so that when we're done, you'll be able to see that a little bit better. But this was the actual, one of the cards that I did. I think I did 3 or 4. When you get the Stamparatus, it comes with a little instruction booklet, okay? It also has, it has one plate. It has a foam mat. This is for photopolymer stamps, okay? Hey, Ann, glad you joined us. And then it has another hinge. It has grid lines for you to be able to line up your stamps and such. On the back, the magnets are stored in 2 places. It is extremely important when you are done using the magnets to put them back in their storage area. I added fun duct tape. I gave it a little tail so it's easy to pick up. These magnets are a natural product. It's a natural earth product, and I can't remember the name of the actual magnets themselves. Okay, I bet you could help me out with that. You're so good about stones and stuff. But it's a natural magnet, which they are very, very strong to hold your paper. But they are also very, very strong, and if you get them close together, they will pinch your fingers or break. Several demonstrators who've already gotten theirs have broken theirs. When I was at OnStage, I told everybody to take one off with your right hand, one off with your left, place it on the right side of the Stamparatus and on the left side. Keep those puppies apart. That, if you don't learn anything else today, you learned that. So the features of the Stamparatus are when you bring the one of the plates up at a 90-degree angle, they just slide out, but they pop right back in very easily. This tool, I'm going to go ahead and set the foam mat away for right now because we're not going to be using that today. We'll be using that on another video. Then this other plate goes up here, And the beauty of it is, if you're doing a bunch of double stamping, two-step stamping, three-step stamping, you can easily add your stamp, flip the plate around, put another stamp, keep them in place so that if you're making 50 Christmas cards or 12 birthday cards, you can just crank these puppies out without changing up the stamp location. The stamp sets that I'm using today are All Things Thanks. I love this stamp set. And Flourishing Phrases. I'm using the flower, and I'm also using one of the sentiments. These are all red rubber stamps. They are clear mount red rubber stamps. So you don't need the foam when you're using the red rubber. Okay. My pieces of cardstock, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I've already cut them. This is for my sentiment. This is for my flower. This is for my matting. And this little trick I wanted to make sure I showed you. On my card, I have a little cutout flower out of copper. I don't know if you can see that. And to save paper, because copper foil sheets are pretty, you only get 2 sheets in there. So to get the best bang for your buck, this is going to be a mat. So let me just show you. This is going to be a mat. No one's going to know that I punched a hole in the middle of that mat. So then I can take my circle to my Big Shot and cut out my little flower. There you go. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put my cardstock up in the corner, and because the magnets are so strong, and it doesn't happen as much with the red rubber stamps as it does the photopolymer, but sometimes the paper will move a little bit, and if it moves, then I can easily slide it back up into place because I know that I've got it butted up into the corner. I'm going to place my stamp here. I'm going to close the hinge. I'm going to pick it up, open up my ink pad, and I'm going to ink this up. And I want to show you the best part about this tool. I did not ink up all of it very well. And for those of you, whoops, I forgot to put my magnets on. For those of you who have been stamping for a while, you know how frustrating that is when you don't get your stamp inked well. But the beauty of the Stamparatus is my stamp is in its same place. I just add more ink. And now I have, and I'm still not happy with that U, so I'm going to come back and just add more ink. Now I'm happy. So this technique that I'm getting ready to do is called hinge stamping. You simply pull this up at a 90-degree angle, move it down 1 notch, ink up your stamp, stamp again, and you'll notice this one's a little bit lighter than that one because I put more ink on that one. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to add more ink. There we go. Now I'm going to do it again. Down a notch, ink up my stamp, and stamp again. Hinge stamping. You know, I've been doing this for 20 years. Never done hinge stamping before. I'm going to go ahead and add some more ink so that it matches my other stamped images. I have several friends who have arthritic hands. I have one friend who has lots of shoulder issues. This, for people who have like arthritic hands and stuff, this tool is a lifesaver because they struggle with picking up our blocks, okay? So this tool is going to help those folks tremendously. Okay, so now we want to, so I'm going to use my little tail, pick up my magnet, move this piece out of the way, and now I want to stamp my flower. I'm going to place it, so you want to place it on the cardstock where you want it. My stamp's a little dirty. I don't put my stickers on because they don't stick to the blocks real well here in Southern Arizona. So I haven't tried putting, I need to try to put them on to use with the Stamparatus because they should stick to that better. It's more of a plastic and not acrylic. All right, let's ink up this stamp. I was very honored to have been asked to demonstrate this product in front of like, oh, what was it? Like 1,000 people, 800 people. It was kind of cool. All right, so you see, I was talking and I didn't put my magnet down. Let me do that. Okay, let's try this again. So my paper moved. Okay, so Kay says, great for those who oops too often. Yes, Kay, this tool is perfect for those of us who make mistakes or, you know, we just don't stamp exactly what we, you know, we're not happy with the outcome. So I'm going to do that one more time. The Stampin' spots that Stampin' Up sells are great for inking up your stamps as well. And you'll notice I have a little bit of ink on my plate. It doesn't touch the paper, so it's okay. But sometimes that bothers people. So, all right, because I did an oops. So here you go, Kay. I'm doing another blooper live. Because I didn't put my magnet down first, I'm going to flip that paper over because that's the beauty of Stampin' Up paper, man. It is double-sided. There's another oops for us, Kay. There. Well, a little bit more on the top. When you are stamping close to the hinges, it can be a little bit harder to get that, to get it stamped close to the hinge. So really press down. Okay. Move our stamp over. I am through with the Stamparatus part. We're going to assemble our card. Move this out of the way. Okay. So for the sentiment layer, this piece of paper is really tiny. If I was doing this in a classroom setting, like stamping in person with people, I would go ahead, which is what I'm going to do now, and use the clear block for the sentiment, because to get that magnet on there, you can see that it takes up most of the piece of paper, and my sentiment takes up my whole piece of paper. So if I was doing this for a lot of birthday cards or Christmas cards or something, I would simply leave this paper bigger. Actually, I'd probably put a whole sheet on my Stamparatus and hinge stamp that puppy all the way down and then just cut it apart. What do y'all think about the Stamparatus? Let me know. Let me know if you've already ordered one and if yours is on its way. All right, the copper foil paper has a like a plastic coating on the back, and my traditional snail doesn't work as well. So I prefer to use a little bit of liquid glue. You could use, let's see, the tear and tape. You could use, no, I wouldn't say glue dots. That would be too many. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up. Okay. Same thing with our, let's see. I can use snail on this layer. Yes, Kay, it is awesome to be able to do multiple cards. I'm telling you. We, as a Stampin' Up demonstrator, we've done swaps and everything to swap ideas at events. And you make 100 cards and you're like, oh, I'm done with this, you know, because it is a lot harder, but the Stamparatus is going to help us be able to do those a lot faster. Oops, let me line this up. Okay. And place this layer right here. Okay, so Fran says she got her Stamparatus ordered on Tuesday, but it hasn't shipped yet. It's coming, my friend. You're just gonna love it, Fran, and by the time you get it, maybe I'll have another couple of other videos up to help you. You're gonna love this tool, I'm telling you, my friend. So I'm just placing some dimensionals on here, and I like to dig my fingernail into that backing to get the backing off. And we're just going to place this right here at the bottom. Okay, so now you can see the difference since I stamped You Are Amazing. You can see it a lot better on the camera. And like I said, it looks good in person, but you might need to do a darker one if you're showing it on film. So, okay. All right, let's see. Does anybody else have anything that they would like to, do you have any questions about the Stamparatus? I mean, that's what we're live for, is for you to ask questions. And by the way, before I forget, if you didn't get yours reserved, that was a whole new system that Stampin' Up came out with, and it was to help with back orders. So I appreciate that part, but it's been a little bit of a challenge for us to figure all this reservation thing out. It will be available starting June 1st to order from the new catalog. So if you didn't get yours reserved and it's not on its way this week, you'll be able to place an order starting in June. So that'll be fun. So, all right, let me just do a little refresh, see if anybody has any questions. If not, we will be done. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kay. I'm glad you liked my... Oh, that was the sunset one. Sorry. I thought you were talking about my card. Did you like my card? Okay, let me see. I am not seeing any. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions or anything. So thank you guys for joining me. Every Thursday I will be on here at noon Central, except for the first couple of weeks in April. I will be traveling to Texas, which is where I will see Kay, and going to a Stampin' Up event in Fort Worth, Texas. So I'm happy about that because I get to go see my kids and my grandbabies and all of that. So super happy. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining me. I appreciate ya. Bye.